Hey guys, it's been a while since I did a denim education video and a while since I've shown you how to get your measurements in inches versus tag sizing, which as you might know is super useful if you're buying vintage jeans. Vintage tag sizing is not equal to modern sizing, or if you're somebody like me who likes to shop in the men's section for some jeans. Men's jeans fit better if you have hip or booty, so just keep that in mind. So what you're gonna need is a tape measure. It could be just one of these basic ones. I like these better than the fabric ones because they're a little bit easier to hold down with the jeans at the same time. And then grab your favorite pair of jeans, non-stretch ideally, because this is gonna, if you have stretch jeans, they're never gonna be the same measurements as what your body actually is. So go ahead and pick your favorite pairs of jeans or shorts, and we will get to it on what measurements you're gonna need to buy denim online or at the thrift store if you bring your own tape measurer. Okay, so first we're gonna go over a waist measurement. I usually like to find the waist measurement by just going about a ½ inch down on the waistband. I don't like to measure from the very top. It always ends up being a little bit smaller than the actual measurement. Or you can just go like halfway down the waistband. So go ahead and take your denim and flatten it out. And then you're gonna wanna go ahead and edge to edge, take that measurement. And I've got 15 there, so that's a 30-inch waist. Next, we're gonna go over the hip, which I think is especially important if you have a booty or a thigh. So go ahead again, flatten it out. Some people say to measure from the bottom of the zipper. I just kind of think that that's, not many people's hips are down that low. It does depend on the rise and on the style of the zipper, but I say usually about 2 inches above the bottom of the zipper. Again, you can find where your hips might be the widest and find that measurement that works for you on like how far down you get the hip measurement. But I think 2 inches above usually works. So go ahead and go right across. And this is another number you double. So I've got 19.5 for this hip. So that's gonna be a 39-inch hip. Next measurement that's gonna be important if you are curvy or have a little bit of thigh is go ahead and find your thigh measurement. I get this starting from the T here, and you're gonna measure just a couple inches down. You can find, again, on your own body where you're kind of the thickest in your thigh. I think generally it's about 2.5 to 3 inches down, so that's where I like to get my measurements for the website. But you can, again, figure out what measurements work best for you. So I'm gonna move this up just a little bit. Okay, so go ahead and split that, make it flat, and then measure from the outer edge about 2.5, 3 inches down, and I've got 12. This is another number you double for a 24-inch thigh. Now the next measurement. Hey guys, this is part 2 of how to find your measurements. We went over waist, hip, which also includes like your butt measurement, and thigh in the last video. So now we're gonna go over rise and inseam. So again, grab your favorite pair of jeans or shorts, non-stretch, and a measuring tape. I'm gonna do it against the wall this time, but I highly suggest you do it on a flat surface like a table, or the floor even is great. Just somewhere where you can actually make sure that the jeans are completely flat and that you're getting the most accurate measurements. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna go over is rise. This is especially important if you're tall, have a longer torso. Really, honestly, it is important because it's all gonna depend on where your jeans sit on your body. This can also be a preference thing. Some people prefer a super high rise. They like the fit and how it kind of snugs their ribs. Some people prefer a mid rise, some people prefer a low rise. To each their own, teach your own, right? Okay, so rise is gonna be the measurement from the T where all 4 of the points meet. So I usually go right from that middle all the way to the top, and these are a 13.5-inch rise. You don't double this measurement like you did with the waist, hip, and thigh. So these are pretty super high-waisted, I would say. Even on somebody like me, I'm 5'8", these are probably about the same measurement, and they come up to the bottom of my ribs. Some might compare these to the Levi's rib cage jeans with the rise. Again, super high-waisted is gonna be like 13 to 14-inch rise. On some people, super high rise might be like an 11. If you're shorter, maybe a high-waisted would be 9.5, 10. So again, it all just depends on where you prefer your jeans hit on your body, how tall you are, where your hips are. I mean, there's a billion factors. It's just nice to know what your preference is. The next measurement is gonna be inseam, so I'm gonna scoot us back a little bit. Inseam isn't as important if you're like me and you just roll your pants anyway, or you can always raw fray. I really like the look of a raw fray hem, which is when you just like chop it off and fray it a little bit with a serrated knife. I think that look looks great. I do a lot of straight leg jeans anyway, so it just doesn't matter. But if it does matter to you, this is something to think about. To me, it's my least important measurement. So for inseam, again, you're gonna wanna go from that T-zone. And ideally I would be doing this on a flat surface, maybe on the ground, to get the best, most accurate measurement, but you're gonna wanna stretch it all the way out. And these are really long because they're Western pants. A lot of Western pants are longer because they're meant to go with cowboy boots. Sorry, we can talk about styles in another video. But again, so from the T-zone all the way down to the bottom, these have a 35-inch rise, or inseam, I'm sorry. And that is the measurement from your crotch. And then some people like it to go down to the top of their foot. Some people like the ankle fit. So that's inseam. So now we got all our measurements. Go ahead and get your jeans.